They failed to give us Biafra. Somalia will look like a paradise compared to what will happen to that zoo. If they do not give us Biafra, there will be nothing living in that very zoo they call Nigeria. Nothing will survive there, I can assure you. You see, 1967 to 1970 is not 2013 to 2015. We had scientists then, now we have men that can make things happen, even better than what we had in the late 60s. So that should ring as a warning to all of them that we are not joking. I do not believe in peaceful actualization or whatever rubbish is called. I have never seen where you become free by peaceful means. If you know, you tell me. I am a student of contemporary history. I have never come across anywhere in history books where you get your freedom out of a peaceful process. It's never happened. Never, ever, ever. And the killing of people to disintegrate the zoo shouldn't come to anybody as a surprise. Our promise is very simple. If they fail to give us Biafra, Somalia will look like a paradise compared to what will happen to that zoo. It is a promise, it is a pledge, and it's also a threat too.
Femis has said this, that he said it in Igbo, that ihe ndị ọzọ mere anyị ehihie ihe anyị mere onwe anyị Caleb, what others did to us are many, but what we did to ourselves is even more. I want you to address this issue of blaming others. It's not just about, this is very common amongst Igbo people, blaming others for the Igbo problem.
For one failure.
Yeah, failure to do things.
I came to America and I blamed all of you in America for the state of affairs back home. The fact that we are dying today is as a result of the docility of those of you in America. And I'm sure that some of you go to Yoruba churches. So when we're talking to you about freedom, what concerns you is what your pastor will think of you. If I attend a Biafra protest, what will our daddy say about it? That is your concern as an Igbo person, going to one of these wretched Yoruba churches. Something may also happen with your congregation. I have not spared Ohanese, Ndara and Yoshi, you know that very well. I have not spared your governors who are complicit in the murder and killing of our people. I have not spared those of them that claim that they're elders, that's promoted by foreign interest to represent our people, just so that we can be controlled via this process they have in our land. I speak out against injustice wherever I find it. I don't condone evil. That is why evil run from me. What you need to understand is this. We are the architects of our own problem, but you must also appreciate that we lost a war. And having stolen everything we had via Awolowo, you know that the £20 payment to each and every family after the war. They continue to support Fulani in the killing and subjugation of other people. It's as if because they lost the Mori and Kwara State to the Fulanis, that everybody must also lose something to the Fulanis. That's how I see it. Or else there is no justification as to why the Yoruba Muslims must be supporting this murderous regime the way they're doing. It is evil. And we condemn it in its entirety. Until our people wake up, because when I criticize them, they find an excuse or reason not to support IPOB. Our people must rise up. Biafra doesn't belong to even IPOB. Talk less of one individual. Like myself, it belongs to all of us. Maybe your children will rise up one day to become very important people in Biafra. That is what I need all of you in America to consider. Not always. In America, they've been killing you, haven't they? You are slaves here for 200 years without pay. Now they're asking for pay at the Congress. The police kill you all the time. They stop and search you for no reason. Why don't you get angry and go back home? So you're still here, eating hamburger and pizza every day.
We also eat
There's the fake one, this one is too much fertilizer in it. GM food, you eat here. Now, you're angry with what Nnamdi Kanu says, with what IPOB is doing, but in America they are killing black people every day. Why can't that anger drive you to pack your things and go? They insult you every day. They call you nigger. They call you all this other. Hey, you're still here. You queue. When you go to American embassies abroad, the queue is from here to high heavens. You still want to come to where they're calling you a nigger. You want to come to where they're oppressing you. You want to come to a place where a police can stop and perhaps shoot you dead if you don't take your time. You find what I say offensive. That when Ku Klux Klan, when they're killing you, you don't find any offensive.
No, people protest here. There is the Black Lives Matter movement. The people are doing
They
things
still
about.
stand up and salute the American flag and sing the anthem.
No, people protest.
No, I'm asking you. After protesting, that's what I'm trying to make is after protesting, you're still here.
Yeah, there probably people will make their own personal decisions.
Why don't you protest and still support IPOB? You see what I call the hypocrisy of our reasoning. Hypocrisy, very big one. And that is what I do not like. I like people who are consistent on the game all the time. We'll take corrections. I'm not infallible, I'm a human being for goodness sake. I will get it wrong sometimes. But when I have the benefit of a wise counsel, I concede to it.
All right, we'll take a break one more time. And when we come back, we'll talk about what happened when you were arrested in Nigeria and all those other things.
The third part of our interview is brought to you by Iroquois Post Books, publishers of This American Lifestyle. Don't come to America without reading it, but if you have come without reading it, read it to know what to expect. And if you are already receiving the expected, read it to know how to escape it. Additional support came from the estate of George Ezike in New Rochelle, New York.
Welcome back. We are having a very interesting conversation with Martin Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra and the director of Radio Biafra. So, when you were talking, you kept referring to Buhari as Jibril. I know that you were the first person to say that Buhari died. We've seen Buhari come back from treatment and people have moved away from that. It appears as if you are still the only one who is still insisting that this person is not Buhari, even though the way he talks, the way he behaves, even the policy, it's the same thing. Nothing has changed. In terms of what makes you think that you stick to the point, this your argument that this is not Buhari?
Because he hasn't changed. The Jubril I know hasn't changed.
Yeah.
And do you also know that 3 people who were responsible for the recruitment of Jubril from Khartoum are all dead? The 3 Nigerian embassy staff that recruited Jubril and Minu al-Sudani, they are all dead. They all murdered. Are you aware of that? Dead. 3 staff from the embassy of Nigeria in Khartoum, they are dead, murdered, buried. Because we are black people, we don't like anything that exercises our brain. You know, we're very lazy. By nature, very lazy people. We don't want anything that will make us to go out of our comfort zone, to imagine the unimaginable. Look at the ear of the man you have there now. As of today, go through his pictures in the last few days. You will see that his left ear is all complete. All complete. But we know that the dead Buhari's left ear lobe is missing. Why can't people, even when you go to court, they ask for evidence or incontrovertible proof. I have a mark here now, and can you see it? Somebody else comes and says, I'm Nnamdi Kanu without this mark. Will you believe that person?
Maybe it's covered up.
Covered up with what?
Makeup.
Yeah, why can't you ask me? The Nnamdi Kanu I know used to have a mark here. If you're wearing makeup, sir, can you please remove it? Let's see it. Do you understand? That is the issue of Jubril and the dead Buhari encapsulates everything that is wrong with the reasoning of a black person. That is why Africa is poor.
The people see it as a conspiracy theory. And it's everywhere. It's in America.
How can it be a conspiracy? I'm telling you that the dead Buhari, had problem with his ear. Why can't you look at the one there now to say, is the ear complete or not? You know it's complete. You know it's not Buhari. You know that Buhari, the right incisors is longer than the left one. I don't want to go into that because when I go to the final expose, I will expose him even more. I've given him an expo now. They're going to do something to his teeth. Now, the other Buhari was an old man. This is a young boy. I don't know, up to 50. Oh my goodness, it's a young man. You saw the pictures during the campaign. He took off his glasses. The old Buhari that you used to know. When was it recorded that he took off his glasses? Ever before? When he took off his glasses, you saw the young boy. But because we are black, cowardly, and very timid, nobody could stand up to say that this is, and I'll tell you why. Those that control your brain, the Yoruba media and Yoruba pastors, they've told you that your Lord and your masters. Actually, I say to our people, you see the Yoruba media and the pastors, they control our brain and the way we reason.
It's not just that now. If your theory is true, that means that the vice president, the wife, even governors from Eastern Nigeria, they all know the old Buhari, and that the person they are meeting is not they're all part of the conspiracy. Is that what you're saying? Everybody.
Yes, they're all part of it. But Obasanjo cannot say it. They cannot say it because they are afraid of the implosion that will happen. They are trading on fear. Britain will tell you the reason why we don't want to expose Jubril is because West Africa will be destabilized. That's the jump in the feeding Trump. That if you do anything in Nigeria, the whole region will implode and, there'll be chaos and anarchy everywhere. We don't have the resources to cope with over 80 million refugees flooding Europe and America from West Africa.
So even if America and Britain are part of the what about Israel? What about other countries in the world?
Because it's not the duty. If you present a goat as your president, Israel will accept it. That's international diplomatic protocol. If you present a chicken as your president, they will say, hello, chicken, president of Nigeria.
What I'm saying is that it will have leaked from...
it has leaked. It is you see, we shouldn't expect somebody to always validate each and every issue for us before we believe it is true. What we are doing was what I used to think when I was little growing up, that unless something is manufactured in a foreign land, that thing is not original. That's how the whole Abame thing came into being. If you see something you don't like, it says Abame. But if it's made by white people, then it's okay. There's something that's happening. Now, we need, for me now to be acceptable. Do you know what I need to do is to go and get a white friend to follow me all over the place. They say he has a white friend. Your friends who are against that baby will become interested because he's got a white friend. We always need white people to say we are doing well before we accept the obvious. What I'm saying to you is this. Only a fool will stand up and say that thing in Asorok being remote controlled by Abba Kyari is Buhari. Now, as a man with family, if I want something from your garage, I want to go, or say your wife wants to go to your garage to take something. Will your wife go to your next door neighbor to help her with opening your garage? No. She'll come to you, isn't it?
Yeah.
So when there were issues of insecurity and banditry in Zamfara, why did Aisha Buhari not go to the commander-in-chief? Why did she go to Buratai? Why was it that she was asking for mosquito nets from other agencies? And when your husband is the commander-in-chief of the entire country, you are appealing to other people.
Well, she has done that before. She went to BBC before and criticized the husband. When the husband was dead, she only said it because the husband was dead. And if you people persist with this whole Jubril of a thing, why can't he still, I think they've coached him well enough now, to speak full-footed. Every interview is controlled. Every meeting is controlled by Abba Kyari and his gang. And they are preying on the fear of the people. Atiku knew that Buhari was Why would Atiku say that?
He won't say it because it was part of the original arrangement. They wanted, because my good friend Fani Kayode wrote a very excellent piece where he actually outlined and argued quite convincingly the reason why he believes that Buhari cannot last out 8 years in office. And then they went back and said, okay, if that's what they are thinking, Buhari must remain in power for 8 years. And that's what they did.
Okay, let's get to other things because we don't have a lot of time. When you were arrested and detained in 2015, amongst the evidence that the government had against you was this video of you talking to IPOB people at the World Congress in Los Angeles, where you told them that they should, just like you're saying, they should contribute and that you need to buy guns to fight Nigeria. And there was this other video where you said that, if they don't give you Biafra, you turn Nigeria into Somalia. If you were the president of Biafra, I know you have no interest in being that, and somebody is demanding for arms abroad to fight Biafra, to let's say someone who is part of Arochukwu Republic, trying to break away from Biafra. I just want you to, what will you do? What will you do to such a fellow if you hear that the person is traveling to Ghana to looking for arms to come, and what will you do?
I'll do nothing. Is he fighting me? Has he landed on my shores to fight?
Well, that is exactly what happened because you landed and you were arrested. If the person lands in Biafra, what will you do?
Was arms given to me when I came to America?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying that.
Exactly. I mean, that
but will you just? I want to.
It is not my job
to
do that. If not, you'll be going about arresting everybody that's ever said anything that you don't agree with. People can say things, and unless there is incontrovertible evidence to back up the fact that the threat was carried out, you do nothing. How many times have you told your child, I'll kill you today? You have never. Your parents ever said to you?
Yeah, my dad generation, they could say that. But
did your dad kill you?
No.
Exactly. So you're saying that your dad should have been arrested?
No, I mean
for coming to the house. When he was leaving in the morning, he said, I'll kill you today when I come back. And as soon as he stepped foot through the front door, he is now shot dead because he said you killed him. We didn't quite know what you were going to do.
No, okay. I got the point. Now, let me ask you, what's the difference between Nnamdi Kanu that was arrested on October 14, 2015, and the one released on April 28, 2017?
More hardcore, more determined, more militant, and ever willing to give everything givable to achieve that.
Now, for 5 months, from April 2017 to September, you were partly, you can say, a free man, not totally free, and you received support from thousands of young people everywhere in the Lower Niger, so to say, Lower Niger. What did you learn during that period?
First, there's something like Lower Niger.
Okay, well,
Lower Niger is a name coined by cowards to avoid talking about Biafra.
No, I wanted to say
it's a cowardly name. The name is Biafra.
Okay.
Yes, say from Biafra.
Okay, from Biafra.
Now, not just from young people. There seems to be this categorization that is fed by Yoruba media.
Okay.
The need to say, it's only young people following him. The town hall meetings in America, were they young people?
Yeah.
Exactly. Everybody is part and parcel of IPOB and what we are trying to achieve. Perhaps sometimes, the natural jealousy of a black man, the destructive envy that comes with our mere existence, tend to contradict that. But it happens, and we have to live with it. I wasn't free.
I know, I said partly. I didn't say I knew there were conditions. But you were moving around.
I was moving around because I decided to move around. Not because I was allowed to.
Okay.
I moved around. They tried to stop me in Ebony. I broke their cordon, almost 6 of them. Military, police, mobile police, everybody else. I don't want people to get the wrong impression. But I want them to know that I am not somebody you can stop from agitating for Biafra to Biafra comes. The alternative is my death. I will keep doing what I'm doing until Biafra comes. Nobody, no force on this earth can stop that. That's what I want everybody to know. Nobody can stop it.
No, but what did you learn during that period? You know, like when you go to Avan, you have thousands of young people.
Millions, not thousands.
Okay.
We shut down towns when we got into it.
So what did you learn? What did you learn about yourself, about your people?
Is that our people want freedom. And that our people will always reward those who stand firm for them in truth and in honesty. They will give anything to protect and to defend that very person. That is why people call me Savior, Lord, Supreme Leader. Is a way to antagonize those that don't believe that what we have accomplished is achievable.
Now, when you were released from prison, you were once quoted to have said that the government of Nigeria offered you oil blocks, mansions in Dubai, 5 eastern states to take and move out and form your Biafra, and you refused. Instead, you demanded the inclusion of Benue and River states.
Yes.
Now, don't you think that there's an alternative way you could have done it, which would be to take the 5 states, get the Biafra, start with the 5 states, and in 10 years' time, according to the other states will say we want to join Biafra.
Because perhaps a lot of people are not quite conversant about Aburi Accord and what happened. It's called goalpost shifting. I know Nigeria more than it knows itself. That's true. When they give you something, you say, okay, I agree. They come back and cut something else from it. They keep cutting it until you disagree.
So you were not sure that they will allow you?
They will not do it. That's how they behave. They did to Juba and Aburi. That's what they did. Oh, do you want this? Yes. Somebody will call them on the phone and say, harden the terms and conditions. Do you want this? Ujuku said yes. They said, harden it. Do you want this? Eventually, there was no agreement.
Will you tell us who came to you and made that?
Ever since I've been saying it, has anyone from the zoo come and refuted it?
Yeah, because you're not mentioning.
No. Have they, before when I say things, they come out and say, oh, it's not true. Oh, they're doing this. Oh, they're doing that. Has anyone said no?
No.
Because if I mention it, more serious players and partners will not trust my sense of judgment and restraint under pressure. So I would not damage my standing with governments around the world by naming names. It doesn't strike as the mark of a good leader. Can't do that.
Now, okay, your home was raided by the military in September 2017, and you were not seen in public again until October 2018 when you showed up in Israel. How did your life change in that 1 year when you were, so to say, in the wilderness?
Introspection, after which more recuperation, introspection, and determination. That's how I look at it. I was, of course, in a sort of very life-threatening injuries. It took me time to recover, and also I had time to think this whole thing through about the influence of those Igbo men and women that wanted me dead. Is it worth fighting for? When the people you're fighting for conspired with our mortal enemies to have me killed. Are you sure that these people are the ones that you ought to be fighting for? Then I remember the dead, the wounded, and the dying, the families that left behind, why they died, and the promise that God made to me when He said, they will kill you, you will kill them, but eventually their will come. So I took solace in that, and that sustained me throughout.
Now, there was this issue of you, nobody knowing where you were, and your lawyer saying to the government, we want you to produce Nnamdi Kanu. Were you in touch with your lawyer?
No, I wasn't. As I said, I was injured, I sustained life-threatening injuries. The Nigerian government, in collaboration with Ohaneze, Dave Umahi, Okezi Bazu, Obiano, Okoro Awosa, and a few others, dummies out in Lagos and Abuja, Igbo men that you call the leaders, conspired with the Fulanis to kill me. They came to my house to kill me, and they killed 18 men in the process, and my cousin and my dog in the process. Given that we are black people, we were not sufficiently moved by that very injustice. The Yoruba media once again shifted the narrative that Nnamdi Kanu ran away, is no longer around. And after a while, that is why I hate them with a passion. After a while, some of you kidding, and after that, the Fulefus joined in the mockery of somebody that the state brought aircraft, rubber gunships, a battalion, they emptied on Afia, and they know to come and kill me. Some of you joined those that don't want you to live to make caricature of something as heinous as that. Now you understand why they call me Supreme Leader and Lord and Savior, so that those people can even get angrier when they think about their treachery. Have you ever considered what would have happened had they succeeded? By now, the Fulanis would be in your village massively. We are the only ones stopping them. Only IPOB stopping them.
Now, as a parent, you mentioned the people that died. As a parent of a 12-year-old soccer player, I do take other kids of that age to go to play games. And sometimes when they lose, I know the weight of talking to them and dealing with that. I wonder, you as a leader of IPOB, and you have people who you lead and sometimes they die. What did that do to you? Do you feel the weight of people who you are the commander?
The pain is, the loss is incalculable. The pain sometimes unbearable. But the only consolation I get is that it's a fuel. It drives me. It's the anger that I need, the righteous anger that I need to keep pushing. That is why I cannot afford to disappoint those families. IPOB cannot afford to fail. It's impossible. We've lost so many. The only way I can look those parents in the eye when I go back to Biafra is to say that your husband, your wife, your children, this is what they died for, is Biafra, we've got it. Does anyone have peace with me? I have no peace. I rarely sleep. I agonize and I worry. And that is how we keep going. Sometimes I wonder, why is it not me? Why did I not die?
Do you know how many people that died in this struggle?
A lot.
Do we have names?
We have names. Yeah, of course, the UN, they have all this.
What can you say this is the number of boys, men, women,
We've
kids?
lost about 1,000 to 1,300 people.
Now, those other three people that were being tried with you, where are they? What happened to them? What is the situation with their case?
No sensible judge will come to court to try IPOB cases. Is the judge drunk? What case do you have? The laws of Nigeria says I can agitate for Biafra. That's what their law says. I have the right to agitate for Biafra. Agitating for Biafra, calling for secession is not a crime in Nigeria. But the Yoruba media will make you believe that secession is a crime. Biafra is a crime. Rubbish. Ask them to show you a law where it is written. After my broadcast, I can't quite remember when, sometime in January,
Yes.
about the futility and the stupidity of this very trial. Interhip has not been to court ever since. She comes and she adjourns the case.
So they are still in
Of
detention?
course, yes. No. They are out.
They are.
They come, they adjourn the case. It's not been adjourned to October. What do you have to present? When the law says that it is not a crime to secede, not a crime to agitate, how can you be trying people for doing something that the law says they can do? Only in nature, of course. That's why the animals in the zoo.
Now, a lot of people acknowledge your sacrifice as service to the Biafran cause, the fact that you suffered, you tortured, you went to jail. But people like Rafu Wazulike of myself, Ben Onwuka of Biafra Zionist movement,
Yes.
have also been arrested and they've been tried. What do you think, how are you different from these characters?
I'm still here talking about Biafra. Where are those people?
Ben is still, I think it's in and out of jail.
Is he talking about Biafra?
I mean, I don't know if he has the media.
You don't know. But you know I'm talking about Biafra.
Yeah.
You don't know if they're talking about Biafra. You know I'm talking about still talking about Biafra. That's the difference.
But do you think that they too sacrifice for Biafra?
Absolutely, without zero of a doubt.
Now, in April this year, Asare Dokubo released a video where he blasted you. That's how they said it. He said a lot of things about you, that you were lying to people, that you betrayed your people and betrayed him, and you sent over 100 people for him to fortify. He called you con man and that you are an ungrateful person. He said that there is a mole in your possession. His anger seemed to be that you could say that he collected $10 million from the government and that you were calling him big, that he has a big belly, and he's a coward or something like that. Some beautiful sympathizers think that is this style. What happened? First of all, let's get clear this. What happened between you and Asare Dokubo?
I don't know who did the research for you, but they got this one wrong.
No, I watched the video.
Have you heard me before?
No, that's what he said. I'm saying that I didn't hear you because I can't watch all the.
Then go back and ask him.
You have a lot of videos out there.
Go back and ask him if I ever called him on the phone to call him.
No, he said that you were saying that on your radio show. And I mentioned Uche too.
I'm coming. Have you gone back to any of my broadcasts and heard where I mentioned anybody's name?
No, I mean I don't have that. So you're saying that it's wrong, but
Absolutely.
But what is the relationship now?
You need to go and ask him. For me, IPOB means Indigenous People of Biafra. So we are fighting for every Biafran, including those who are misguided, including those that may cast aspersions. And I don't come to accuse people without validity or proof. If I say you're a criminal, I'll tell the world what you stole, because I'm not a village dropout that will just come and mouth rubbish and disappear. And I'll call you said this to me, I said that to you. It's too childish. I don't engage in that nonsense. But what I say to people is this. Most of these people controlled by the Northern Fulani leadership cannot stop Biafra. They can't. They will try and try and try and try. They will never ever succeed. Biafra will come imminently. There will be war in the zoo and Biafra will come. Fulanis have brought the war to us. We need to engage them. Eventually, you have to engage them. Forget even some of those idiots in America hiding on under their wife's wrapper, claiming nonsense. He's supreme leader. Is all that rubbish. The fight will come to their villages.
So you think that there will be war?
Oh, yeah. There's war already. You're saying there will be.
No. I mean full-scale war.
Of course, there will be. Obasanjo said it. Was it this one? Obasanjo said it. There will be full-scale war. How do you stop and arm somebody with AK-47 in your compound? How do you get with 50 heads of cattle? How do you get him out of your compound?
But by the way, what do you think about this policy, these ranches, this idea that they are proposing?
It's what you people deserve. Nigerians, that's what they deserve because they don't listen to warning. I said it in Agamasu in the Banya. That's the time it has come. So I'm doing this today.
No. We have to round up. On Sunday, you said something. I don't know if you were aware of it during the town hall. There was a question asked, and in your answer, you said something like that millions of suicide bombers bombing will take place in the north. Now, if the media had been there, they could flash the headline that it could go anywhere. Do you mean that? What do you mean? Explain.
So people think we are foolish, and that is a very good thing actually. They are miscreants. I know I'm the great miscreant. The number one, the chief miscreant is me. They think we are foolish. We don't plan. We have no strategy. It's a very, very, very good thing. But we've gone very far now that we will stop it. If you want to know what will happen, then arrange to have me killed. Then you see what will happen. So you're picking up bones from the streets. So you think, as I am, 18 men died defending me to get me out of my house. And then you kill me. And they'll keep quiet? Is that what, seriously speaking, is that what any sensible person, is that what you think? This same IPOB, hardcore, will keep quiet. And you take me and you kill me, and then we will go back and open their shops. Is that what you think? Yeah, of course not.
Now, one last question. At the beginning, I read this statement from Ojukwu about Nigeria being irreformable and not being an African necessity, questioning why we should sacrifice our existence. Yet, he participated in Nigerian politics.
Yes.
At various points in his life. I want to know, what mistakes do you think people who fought for Biafra before made? And how are you going to avoid them?
They made use of what they had around them. Remember that the war wasn't planned. So there were bound to be pitfalls which they encountered and surmounted and held up for 3 years. Our leader, our supreme leader, as a matter of fact, came back from Ivory Coast on the false pretext of, getting what he was fighting for via a democratic means. They deceived him. The same way they tried to deceive me. Oh, why don't you feel the candidate in Abia State or Imo State or other rubbish? I knew. That was why I said that we learned from the mistakes of the past. We can't. Once IPOB engages in party politics, that's the end of us. This ones will go and join NCSC. This ones will join CCCP. All that rubbish all over the place. I will collapse. I said, no, won't do it. So those are the mistakes I was talking about. Avoidable pitfalls. Those that advised our leader to come back knew what they were doing. They were working for foreign people. You didn't know that in MPN. They said, come on, join MPN. And the day he declared for MPN was the end of our race. From that day to today, we've not recovered, and likely never to recover until Biafra comes. Simple as that. Because it was our icon, our symbol, our strength. We were raised believing that our Messiah will come back one day. Ujugu and all the Fulanis and Awusa will run away. He came back and he joined them. So people said, oh, the same people were being told should be avoided. If our leader can go to them and cut a deal, so can everybody. From that day, this stampede to Abraham the Awusa started. And it hasn't stopped till today. Those are the dangers. And I will not fall into it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
for a
very
nice
much.
conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Woman who held a baby against her bosom said, "Speak to us of children." And he said, "Your children are not your children. They are the sons and the daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. And though they are with you, yet they belong not to you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. Yes, you may house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you. For life goes not backwards, nor tarries with yesterday. You are the bows from which your children, as living arrows, are sent forth. The archers sees the mark upon the path of the infinite, and he bends you with his might, that his arrows may go swift and far. Let your bending in the archer's hand be for gladness, for even as he loves the arrow that flies, so he loves also the bow that is stable. I used to think they were just wicked, those Rwandans who slaughtered each other, 800,000 of their compatriots in less than 100 days, shutting down the heavens and discarding their weeping gods by the graveyards. I used to think they were just foolish, those Rwandans, Hutus and Tutsis alike, who killed women and children to prove a point about the festering souls in their hearts and the vultures they cuddled at night. I used to think something possessed them, those Rwandans, who now have bones and skulls in museums and mass graves, as a reminder of their foolishness, which they once called courage. I used to ask, where were their meek, who knew the dignity of peace? I used to ask, where were the thinkers who knew how to interpret retrospect? And then I looked into the eyes of my people. I listened to the screams of anger and fear, and I trembled. My voice quaked, my skin coiled. In my eyes, we are turning into them, the Rwandans. In my eyes, the same spirit that kidnapped them has kidnapped us in broad daylight. Step by step, we are on the road to Kigali, matching information with cowries and crosses, singing war songs, both ancient and modern, pumping our fists in the air, bragging about what we survived after the dragon had swallowed us. Oh, we have our reasons. We are dying anyway, so we might as well die fighting for something. Oh, we have our reasons, great reasons. Our lands, our lives, our mothers, our daughters, our farms, our Jesus. Oh, we have our reasons. Our cows, our culture, our cows, our culture, our cows, our culture. 200 years from now, our great-great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren will review our days with tears rolling down their eyes. They will call us heroes for killing each other over cows, in the war of cows, for cows by cows. 200 years from now, our great-great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren will look at our reasons with nostalgia. Oh yeah. And they will call us heroes for killing each other over cows in the war of cows, for cows by cows. We won't feel guilty, for it is for our great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren to feel. We won't feel shame, for that is for great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren to feel. If I had any foresight, I would have had a conversation with myself about my silence when the weapons were growing in our gardens. If I had any foresight, I would have had a conversation with you all about the surprises that come when we cross the boundary of decency. If I had any foresight, I would have made history supreme, not make it disappear. I would have made history an appendage to our dreams, but I didn't, and we didn't. We are now handcuffed to history, chained to memories and memes. We can still run away as fast as we can, but not if we are afraid of our destination. For if we are afraid, we shall meet our destiny diced and dissected. Okay. This little nuts of mine, I'm gonna make them last. Oh, this little nuts of mine, I'm gonna make them last. Oh, this little nuts of mine, I'm gonna. Someone is FaceTiming me. Someone. Hey, my grandson, Udoka, how are you?
Hello, Grandpa.
Kedu?
I don't remember. What are you eating?
Oh, I have nothing left at home. I'm eating aku, palm kernel. That's all I have at home. Now I eat meal without meat. Aku without ukwa.
Mbano, that's not healthy.
What can I do? Eh? Can you please help me beg your father? Beg your father this Christmas to help me. Things are hard. Prices of things up, energy, up.
In duck, Grandpa, I'll tell my dad right away.
Biko, thank you, please, thank you. Biko. These little nuts of mine.
Dad.
Hey, Udoka, Kerikeje.
Grandpa is suffering in Nigeria. He needs your help urgently.
Udoka, how did you know he's suffering?
We were just on a FaceTime call. He looks so skinny now. His stomach has shrunk and it's flattened.
His stomach?
Yes.
Let me see. You know what? I don't care. Look, that man, I give him money, he will go and use it to buy tobacco, and that's it. I give him money, he will go and give it out to his friends. And I give him money, he will go and marry a second wife and talk. No, I don't care. Whatever is happening to him, I don't care.
I have a solution.
What?
Go to Help Me Waka and they'll send him any food item that you want to give Grandpa anywhere in Nigeria.
Help me
Waka.
Really?
Really.
Help Me Waka, the people that run errands for you. This Christmas, help your people. Go to Help Me Waka and order items for them. They will be happy. Please help them.